College of Education breakout room. So we're excited to have you. We're going to have, I know people are still joining, so I'm going to wait just a second and then we'll get going.
Do you want to go first, Rika? You can if you want to.
Sure.
Okay.
We have Peter here as well. So it's up to, yeah. So,
oh, Peter,
yeah.
it's up to you.
I had a meeting that notoriously goes like 15 to 30 minutes over, actually, and on time for the first time ever, I think. So that was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we have till 11:25. Jean said it'll close abruptly at 11:25. So
We should start rolling then.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to go first, Peter? The education programs are the biggest one, and then
Sure.
leave a little
Yeah.
time for Christina and I. It'd be great.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do my best to go quickly. I'd say number one, the resource, the Word document that you get from us has pretty much all the information I'm going to be covering today. Also, highly recommend asking questions as you come along, as they go along, and I'm happy to answer them. Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Johnson. I'm Director of Admissions for the College of Education. Essentially, becoming a teacher can be a really complicated process, and I'm sure you're all aware of that. And I'm sure you have questions asked from students all the time asking you how to become a teacher. The most basic requirements that we have are that one that can be a significant hurdle is that there's a state requirement called the Basic Skills Requirement, which requires a student to take the SAT, the ACT, or what's called the West B. If a student hasn't taken that, be sure to send them our way, because we have vouchers that essentially pay for a student to take this test. So it's the earlier you can talk to us, the better. Honestly, the most important thing that you get from this meeting is that we really recommend that you forward students to us to get one-on-one advising. That is like the most important thing that a student can do, like before they even get here, but even as they're just starting or as they're applying to Western. The earlier we can talk to students and help them plan their time here, the better. We just want to make sure that they're saving as much time and money as they can while they're here. All of our programs do have a 2.75 GPA requirement. However, this is not a firm requirement. It's kind of like a ballpark figure. So if students are kind of around that GPA, we will still admit them. We take a lot of factors into the equation of students that apply to our programs. And then also students need to have completed an English 101 requirement, so an English comp requirement. We also encourage that students that are coming in with DTAs and are getting advising specifically around math, that they take a college algebra course. So typically like Math 99 is the most common one. Any college algebra or higher. We highly recommend that they do not take math and society because they'll probably have to take math while they're here. Just so when you're speaking with students planning around that are hoping to become teachers, that's an important thing to note. Students with DTAs will want to identify which major they want to complete, and they'll have to do a couple things. One, they'll have to apply to Western, but they'll also have to apply to the specific program that they want to go into. And this is where it can get confusing, because there's a difference between applying to a major as well as applying to our program, and they can be two completely separate processes, or sometimes they can be one process. And so that's why we really recommend that students book appointments with us. You can find information on how to book appointments for us if you just Google like Woodring advising, or this link right here on the bottom. We do have program sessions, and we have recorded ones, and that information is usually posted on this website too, that I just have below for teaching education programs. So we have a special education. This has so much information on it, which is, but I'm kind of trying to put a lot of information in a short amount of time. So we have a special education program. It's either an undergrad program or a post-baccalaureate program. It is a major, so students apply to a major that leads to special education, and it can also be packaged along with elementary education. So students that go into this major will get a special education endorsement, which means that they can teach special education from preschool through 12th grade, or an elementary education endorsement, which ranges kindergarten through 8th grade. The program program is 135 total credits. We admit every single quarter. So students, if they miss, say, their initial deadline, we are still happy to work with those students to get them into the next quarter. So another reason to always stay connected with an advisor like me, or the best contact person for special education is Summer Mitchell. I've included their contact information, and I'll be sure to include this PowerPoint so that can be sent to you later on if you want it. Our application deadlines are usually quite similar to Western's deadlines for the same quarters, so they can apply to both Western as well as our program at the same time. We have an elementary education program that's also an undergrad or a post-baccalaureate program. We require that students have at least 75 credits completed, or that they've completed all of their GURs. Typically, we're not accepting students who still have GURs required. So usually students coming in with a DTA or have completed nearly all their GURs in a really good spot to apply to our program. This program requires that students have completed college algebra and the equivalent to a course here at Western called Science Education 201. There are some transfer courses that come in from your different institutions. There's not too many, so it's very possible they will have to take Science Education 201 their first quarter here at Western. We have 14 different program-aligned majors that all lead to students becoming an elementary education teacher, so teaching kindergarten through 8th grade. And in total, that whole program, the major as well as the program, work out to be about 140 to 150 total credits. So that's why we want to talk to students as early as possible. A lot of the time, students' coursework from their community colleges will also transfer in to part of their major, depending on the major they select. But the earlier we can talk to those students, the better, because we want to make sure that they've identified the major they want to be in and are getting into it as early as possible so they can get access to those courses and start taking them. The main contact person for elementary education is Molly Bauman. I've included her information right here. Similarly, to our special education program, our elementary education program has 3 application deadlines. We accept every single quarter, so it's not a huge deal if, say, they're coming in fall quarter or whichever quarter and they miss like their first quarter and they're not in the program, because there's usually coursework that we can work with them to take that's going to be counting towards their overall degree and completing. So but definitely elementary education can be a confusing thing for students just because there's so many different options, especially when it comes to majors. So again, really recommend that students book an appointment with me or our advisor here at Woodring specifically. You know, students can meet with Western advisors, but I really recommend that you point them in my direction or the advisor here at Woodring specifically to have conversations around kind of their goals around becoming a teacher. Next, we have early childhood program. This is a program that leads to an early childhood endorsement, which is specifically for students that are birth to age 5 or preschool through grade 3. It has a similar requirement around at least 45 credits. We usually highly recommend that they have a DTA or that they've completed all of their GURs before coming here. That is not correct. There's one major that leads to early childhood education, and they accept once per year, and that deadline is in the fall, and it's March 1st. The best person you could possibly talk to for early childhood education interested students is Megan Brown, and her contact information is right here. Sorry, I feel like I'm in such a rush and I'm just blurting information at you, so this probably isn't super helpful, but I hope it is. Finally, we have a secondary education program. Students can complete our secondary education program either as an undergrad, as a post-baccalaureate student, or as a master's program. Students essentially, to get into our program, will need to complete all of their GURs as well as a content area major. So most of the time, students are not applying to our program until their final year as a senior or as a grad student or as a post-baccalaureate student. So essentially, students need to be applying to our program that are interested in teaching high school, need to have a major in a specific content area. For example, if you're hoping to be an English language arts teacher, we have a major specifically for you to get that content in our English department, similar to math or what have you. So our secondary education program in total is 58 credits. That usually leads to be about 4 quarters. And so they can do that as part of their undergrad, as a post-baccalaureate, or as a master's in teaching program. Again, we really recommend seeking advising as early as possible for this, because we like to work with students and connect them with the specific contacts in the different content area departments, so we can make sure that they're getting the best advising possible. This program admits twice per year, in the fall as well as in the winter. And that's our teacher ed program, secondary education programs. Any questions all about I just went through? I'm happy to answer them.
Well, as a matter of time, I'm going to go ahead and do my bit here. And then if you have questions for Peter, go ahead and put them in the chat. I want to make sure I save time for our final program, final but not like least program. So my name is Rika Winquist. I'm the program coordinator for the RN to BSN program. Western has just has the RN to BSN program. So that's a bachelor's completion for graduates of associate degree registered nursing programs. All right, so we do not offer a 4-year bachelor's degree. So I have a, like my next slide here kind of gives you an idea of some of the pathways. This is, I call this the new to nursing pathway. Nursing can be confusing. So there's really 2 pathways. One is for students who apply to a 4-year BSN Bachelor's in Science and Nursing program. Schools like the University of Washington, Washington State University, Eastern Washington, Seattle U, etc. offer this type of program. So this 4-year bachelor's program, which includes kind of the prerequisites as well as all 4 years of nursing classes, that is not offered at Western. So for us, we offer the associate degree. So we offer pathway 2, associate degree in nursing, the ADN to RN to BSN pathway. So what that means is students from our community and technical colleges who graduate with their 2-year ADN or associate degree in nursing degree, then they transfer to Western as basically kind of almost a senior, I'd say. And then they complete 4 quarters here to get their bachelor's in science in nursing degree. The other pathway I want to mention, and I think this is also an area of confusion, is the pre-nursing associate degree, or some schools kind of offer a pre-nursing bachelor's degree. So this is these are students who complete the general education prerequisite courses at the community and technical college level. There is the pre-nursing DTA. So those students with a pre-nursing either need to transfer to pathway 1 to a 4-year BSN program like UW or Wazoo. There are limited transfer opportunities there for those pre-nursing into 4-year BSN programs. So I really encourage students to do good research, or for you as advisors to do good research on whether or not those programs actually accept pre-nursing transfer students. Our pathway 2 is that students with the pre-nursing associate's degree will then apply to a 2-year associate's degree nursing program, do that program, do their 2 years of nursing school, and then from there graduate and then apply to our program, the RN to BSN program. These pathways are confusing, so I'm happy to meet with anyone who wants to know about nursing pathways. I myself I used to work at BTC. I was there 13 years, so I've been really involved in the pathway. And I'm happy to meet with anyone or any students, send them my way. So our program, the Associate Degree in Nursing, or the ADN to RN to BSN pathway. So this is the 1 year of general education credits, can be more, 2-year nursing program. They complete their associate degree in nursing, then they get licensed as an RN, and then they apply to Western's RN to BSN program. Ours is a 4-quarter full-time. So the great thing about this, what I call pathway 2, is that students only have to pay tuition at the university level for 4 quarters. As opposed to a 4-year bachelor's degree where they're paying a lot more. This is a great pathway for saving some money. And then students may apply, sorry about that. Students may apply while they're finishing up their final year of their associate degree. our program, and I have some time here. I just don't want to take up Christina's time. So just a brief overview of our RN to BSN program. So we have social justice and equity focus. We have small cohorts with faculty committed to flexibility to accommodate working nurses. All our students in our current program, and we currently have 41 students, are working full-time as nurses in our community here, Whatcom, Skagit Island, and I think maybe even down to Snohomish County. So, we work very hard as a program. It's a hybrid program to really work with our working nurses to help them be successful. So we're state supported. We have a nurse faculty advisor. There's one application, so there are transfer students and they apply to Western and also to the nursing program all at one time. nursing DTA students don't need to take any additional classes outside of the nursing classes. Full-time at 12 credits, part-time is 5 to 6 credits. If you are full-time, the students start in fall, they graduate in August of the next year. So I think I'm maybe I don't want to take up any more time. So just some ideas why your associate degree nursing graduates want to get a BSN: increased earning potential, leadership opportunities. There are certain employers, such as like our health departments or like outpatient surgery centers that require BSN prepared nurses. And it also is the first step for advanced degrees like being a nurse practitioner or a doctor of nursing practice. And questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. If you have questions for me, you can reach me here through our website. I am happy to meet with students, with advisors. I love to explain pathways and really support that supportive culture we have here at Western. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Rika. My name is Christina Van Wingerden, and I am with the Human Services Program, and I'd like to share my screen and what great programs we have at Woodring. I just feel so proud to work here. Can you see the slide? Okay. So I'm the Academic Program Director and the Field Stays Coordinator for the Human Services Program. A lot of people don't know what Human Services is. They're like, what is human services? And the most simple way to say is that it's a combination of social work and psychology. And we do have 3 programs: Bellingham, Everett, and distance learning. As far as transferring into WWU, the prerequisite, having an AA DTA associate's degree, preferred 90 to 105 credits. If students have a little bit less than that, especially our program coordinators will work with them and sometimes let them take a class to see what it's like to declare human services as a major. And this is the names of our wonderful program coordinators for each site. We are accepting winter quarter applications now. Otherwise, we do follow the Western deadlines. Bellingham takes 2 cohorts in fall and 1 cohort in winter, and distance learning and Everett start with a fall cohort every year. Needed to apply in the major, just a GPA of 2.75 or higher. They are required to answer 3 questions, and one is about why they're interested in human services. One is about their experience in human services. It could be volunteering at nonprofits, and one question is about social justice. And it's totally an online process. Another thing I wanted to accentuate about our program is we're really trying to build community across the programs, Everett, distance learning, and Bellingham, because students in distance learning can kind of feel like they're in space, kind of with no one around, and Everett can feel like Bellingham gets everything. And so we have a group of students that are sense of belonging coordinators and ambassadors, and they're on doing social media, recruitment, events, and students that are human service students can get involved either through an AmeriCorps scholarship they would get at the end, or just to volunteer if they want to. Our program is distinct because it is academic experience through applied practice. So our human service program has 2 quarters of required internship, and we have quite a few community partners. They take a pre-professional internship class. Before that, they get 20 hours of experience in the community. They do their resume. There's internship fairs that we do in winter and spring quarter when they take those classes. So by the time they graduate, they'll have had 260 hours of field service experience in the human services field. So our programs are cohort based. The major is approximately 75 credits, so it usually takes 5 to 6 quarters for them to complete the major. Some of the examples of our internship sites, this may be hard to see, but I can meet with anyone, are like nonprofits or those organizations that do direct service in the community, organizations that work with children, youth, and family, including like foster care, adopted youth, low income, youth at risk. We have interns in nonprofit settings as well as in our schools, including elementary, middle, and high school. And we also have government agencies, and this is just a few. Some of the job interests that students have to do with mental health, nonprofits, social work. Our degree is a generalist degree, so it's a great degree if someone isn't sure what they want to do, but they do want to get their master's in social work or counseling or something else. It is a good generalist degree to get, and they can. We have a 96% rate of jobs upon graduation with a bachelor's. That is not us, that's Career Services gave us that number. So here's some of the things. We even have students who want to be like immigration lawyers and are doing internships in those settings now. And again, I just wanted to say we're accepting winter quarter applications. And that's it. How do we do in time? Oh, we have 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. So any questions for any of us, I'll mute now, and I'll put my contact information in the chat.
There
Good
was a
job,
question
team.
in the chat about accreditation. Is the Human Services Program accredited through CSWE?
Not currently. There was a time when the Human Service Program was seeking accreditation, but they changed course, and I'm not sure why. Curtis, do you want me to follow up and get you more information about that?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you put your email in the chat?
And I guess I just, want to reiterate that please, since our programs here at Woodring are fairly complicated, please feel free to reach out to us. I mean, our contact information is on the website. We do information sessions. Reach out, send students our way. I think for me, it's a passion. I want to see students, if they want to be a nurse, I want to see them have the most direct and affordable pathway possible. So that means like really, good advising for students. And so if you have anyone, you're looking at nursing, like please, send them my way. And then, getting a bachelor's degree is a great way to advance your nursing career. I mean, as a community and technical colleges, you can get started as a nurse. But if you want to, if you want to see your students go on to advanced degrees, then they'll need that bachelor's degree.
Also, quick plug-in, we're in the process of hiring a Woodring teacher education advisor. We currently are missing one, so I'm doing most of the advising to incoming students right now, but we're in the process of opening that up, and I think it'll be open probably for the next 3 weeks. So if you know anyone or you're interested in it, please check the Western job boards over the next week or two, because that position will be available. I don't know if I was allowed to do that, but I just did.
I think it's fine. You did have a question in the chat there, Peter.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, an education question.
Yeah, if student wants to be a high school Spanish teacher, that's a great question. So if they want to be a Spanish teacher, that endorsement runs kindergarten through 12th grade. So they'd be able to teach both elementary and high school Spanish. They would essentially major in Spanish, and we have a program that's aligned to the majors called like Spanish with a teaching endorsement option. And so they would go into that major, and then they take all their Spanish classes, and then they'd take our program at the very end of their time here at Western, either as an undergrad or as part of a master's degree or as a post-baccalaureate program. Yeah.